I made my G87 M2 sound louder and more aggressive in a matter of minutes. And the best part is I didn't even have to modify the car's exhaust system. It's the OEM setup. But how? Well, BMW has been doing something strange with many of their cars lately that limits the amount of raw sound you can hear. That's not good, and I'll show you how I bypassed it. This is probably the easiest DIY I've ever posted on the channel, and quite frankly, the easiest way to make your BMW feel and sound a lot more alive without having to install any other modifications. What we have on the table is a valve controller from a company called Daler, just like the tuning module we did on the M2. Same high quality product, software from Switzerland, made in Germany. And as you guys can see by the connector types, it's a plug and play solution and literally takes minutes to install. Included is this little remote that has two buttons. One button allows you to have the exhaust valves open at all times, and the second one just reverts everything to like the OEM style, where the car controls when the valves open and close. And because I've never installed anything like this on any of my BMWs, I went ahead and purchased a decibel meter just so we can test out the difference. Daler does offer this exhaust valve controller for multiple models, so I'll make sure to link this one and other popular models down in the video's description in case you guys are interested. And because you can always revert back to the OEM functions with this controller right here, we won't do any before footage now. We'll do it after we install the module onto the car, and we'll do some revs, some drive-bys, and we'll also use the decibel meter just to show you guys the difference. Before starting the installation, there's two things that you want to make sure you do. The engine option, make sure it's on efficient so the valves are closed. Obviously, you're also gonna switch off the car. And most importantly, put the key pretty far away so that the car properly goes to sleep. Wait 15 minutes, because if you don't follow this step, then you may get some unnecessary codes. I wasn't playing when I was saying that this would probably be the easiest DIY I ever post on the channel. Plug and play connectors. We have the OEM connectors here for the valves. Very simple to remove. There's like a little push button here. Press it, and then you release it. Then we have a second one on the opposite side. Again, press in, pull it out, release it. It honestly doesn't matter where you connect these, whether it's the left or right side, because it's equal length anyways, and it's the same exact connectors. The most important thing is you want to make sure we route this box to wherever you're going to place it, whether you're going to loop it inside so it ends up inside of the trunk or somewhere down here. Plan that ahead so you don't get the wires all over the place. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to mount the module in here so you don't have to mess with trying to get it into the trunk. So you guys can see there's an opening up here. So there's not much you have to uninstall to get the Daler in there. And then one thing I forgot to show you guys earlier, the valve controller does come with these Velcro attachments. So one goes on the back of the module itself, and then the other one will ideally go somewhere in there so it doesn't rattle around in here and make a bunch of noise. So when you're routing these wires, make sure it's not making contact with any moving part, because that's going to be an issue. I'll place the box in this section for now. So you got two connectors. One is going to go to the OEM one, which is the female one, right there. And then this goes into the exhaust valve actuators, like this, with the little gray tab facing the front of the car. Like that, and then you lock it into place. Boom. As you guys can see, the opening here on the subframe, we'll just zip tie the wires along the top section right here. We zip tied right here, routed it above here, the subframe, zip tied it right at the center. For the other exhaust valves, we'll do the same thing we did on the opposite side. Like that, lock it into place. Pull the wires as much as we could. We tighten it all up, and now it's nice and firm. And then the rest of this, we can probably tie it up with a zip tie, and then we'll put the module inside. I might be making this a little bit more difficult for myself because I could probably unbolt some things and loosen it up, but I got 90% rubbing alcohol on this microfiber towel, and I'm inside of this plastic area, essentially wiping off the inside wall portion. And I think it worked out. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's nice and grippy.
That's what she said.
I'll do the same to the back of the box. And then place that one in there. All right, got it. Let's try this out.
One pair of pants later.
Yeah, so I ended up taking an alternative approach. Not that I don't trust the Velcro, but I just trust zip ties a little bit more. As you guys can see, I have two zip ties. One crossing from one side over the module, and another one crossing from the other side. Routed it to the bottom section here. And that module is not going anywhere. Unbolted 5 10 mils so I can have access to the inside portion. in here. The rest of the excess wires, I bundled them up, zip tied, just stuck them in here. Now, no rattling. Now that the valve controller is installed, I can show you the thing BMW does to their car's exhaust system to limit the sound. It's tough to see, but look closely at the exhaust valves. Not fully open, even though the car is on Sport Plus. Now look at what happens when you open them up with the dealer setup. Now, they're fully open. There is a memory function you can activate with the valve controller. That way it always remembers your last selection even after turning off the car. All you have to do is make sure that the car is in comfort mode, turn on the car, and hold the lock button for around 6 seconds. You'll hear the valves open and close 3 times. And that's it. You compare the open and stock function to the buttons here on the rear view mirror, which are normally used for garage openers. You literally program them the same way you do to the garage, and then you have easy access. Isn't that pretty crazy? That from factory, an M car, once you put it in Sport Plus, it doesn't open up the valves 100%, like maybe like 60, 70%, and then you install Daler, and then you can get it wide open. Another indirect feature that will probably get overlooked most of the time is, let's say you have the car in its factory exhaust valve setting. In order to get the loudest possible sound, you have to have the engine in Sport Plus. The problem with that, if it is a problem to some of you guys, is you get burbles, and I know not everybody likes the burbles. Here's what it sounds like. If you want to go with the louder tone, you automatically get burbles. The only way to really remove burbles is to go from Sport Plus down to efficient. You will no longer get burbles, but the problem with that is that the exhaust valves are closed, so you don't really have a very loud sound. The cool thing with the valve controller is, check this out. We're still in efficient, so we won't get burbles, but I'm going to fully open up the valves, right? Now you get that deep, loud sound without the burbles. Pretty nice hack, isn't it? As you can see by the decibel meter, having the valves fully open with Daler makes a decent difference, even on a stock setup. The results are even bigger if you're running an aftermarket setup that uses the OEM exhaust valves functions. So I have the car set to Sport Plus, and I have the valves fully open with the controller. Let's see what it sounds like inside of the car. Oh, it's definitely much louder than before. All right, we're going underneath the bridge now. Yes. All right, here's a rev for you guys. Aggressive. Guys, I recently tricked my M2's S58 into making more power with no mods. Make sure to watch the video on screen now to find out how I did it. Yo, the car is so much more fun with the tune. That's it, I just gotta say it. Also, make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.